May I please request all the guests, can we all stand please? Thank you. Please take your seats. Hari Om. Before we start with the service, I would like to request everyone, please put your phone on silent or you can switch it off. બધાને વિનંતી કરું છું, તમારા મોબાઈલ ફોન સાયલેન્ટ અથવા તો બંધ કરી દેજો પ્લીઝ. ઓમ ત્રંબકમ જજામહે સુગંધિમ પુષ્ટિવર્ધનમ ઉર્વારુકમિવ બંધનાન મૃત્યોર્મુક્ષીયમામૃતાત. મૃત્યુંજય મહાદેવ ત્રાહિ મામ શરણાગતમ. જન્મ મૃત્યુ જરા વ્યાધિ પીડિતમ કર્મ બંધનૈઃ. અનાધિ નિધનો દેવ શંખ ચક્ર ગદાધરઃ. અક્ષય પુંડરીકાક્ષ જીવમોક્ષો પ્રદો ભવ. ઓમ અસતો મા સતગમય તમસો મા જ્યોતિર્ગમય મૃત્યોર્મા અમૃતમ ગમય. ઓમ શાંતિ શાંતિ શાંતિ. May I please call upon Milind to come and say a few words, followed by Sonal, Jaimin, Dhruv, Soham and Kunjesh Bhai.
Jai Swaminarayan, everybody.
Jai Swami.
I want to thank you all for coming today to pay respects to Ba. For those who don't know me, my name is Milind, and I'd like to say a few words for myself and on behalf of my father, Ramanbhai Oza, who is Ba's eldest son. So Ba was born in Mahova, India on 24th of October 1931. She was one of 9 children, 4 sisters and 5 brothers. She got married at the young age of 21 in the year 1952 to my dada, the late Sri Navin Chandra Oza, and then migrated to Mombasa, Kenya to join my dada soon after. She had her first child, my dad, in 1953, and then she went on to have 5 more children to complete her family of 5 sons and 1 daughter, all of whom are present here today. She then moved to Nairobi in 1959 and then back to India in 1964 after Kenya's independence. She remained in India for another 12 years before then finally moving to the UK on the 31st of December 1976. Ba and Dada settled in Wood Green as their family began to grow with wives and grandchildren. She was a very strong-willed woman, living independently after my Dada passed away. She was very devoted to the mandir and would get the bus on her own to ensure she would not miss her regular prayers. She gave me the nickname Tofani, and she carried that nickname all the way up until I last saw her shortly before she passed. One of my fondest memories of Ba, as you saw in some of the lovely photos there, was seeing her at my wedding a few years ago, and she would be doing garba and she would dance. You could not tell at that point she was a 90-year-old woman by the way she moved. She lived for an impressive 93 years, almost reaching 94. I know she would appreciate all of you being here today to pay your respects, as do the rest of the Oza family. Thank you all for coming. Bhagwan in Atmane Shanti Ape. Jai Swaminarayan.
Jai Swaminarayan. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Sonal, and I am one Ba's oldest grandchild, and hope the following captures Ba's spirit. Before beginning, I would like to acknowledge all of the care Gunjish Mama provided to Ba over the last several years. As you know, he lived with her for many years as well. You were her caregiver. Additionally, I would like to extend a heartfelt Jai Swaminarayan from my father, Kaushik Oza, our Kaka Kaki, and then the rest of the Oza Trivedi family from the US and from India. Reflecting on Ba, several thoughts and phrases come to mind. In particular, the ones that resonate include a joy towards life, independence, and devotion. From a young age, I recall Ba as being an incredibly dynamic, jolly individual. She was so extroverted, had the best laugh with a 1,000-watt smile. During our summer trips to the UK, we were fortunate with other family members to travel along the streets of Paris and the rolling hills of Scotland. In particular, ice cream was heavily involved during these trips. When we would first arrive, whether it was in Brighton or in Oxford, she would demand that someone would deliver her ice cream, and her smile would be wide as a child's that afternoon. The best part was, if Ba was eating ice cream, then who could say no to all the children? For me, the ice cream was more than a sweet tooth. It illustrated that youthful, joyful spirit that fed her longevity. In addition to traveling with family, Ba had a very active social life through her lifelong friendships from the mandir. Some of her closest friends included Savita Aunty, Sharda Aunty, Yashoda Aunty, Nirmala Aunty, Kamala Aunty, Nimu Aunty, and many others. She attended cruises well into the 70s and into her 80s from these friends from the mandir. The excitement was palpable when we spoke with her on the phone, and we knew we had to plan our trip to the UK around her social calendar. Our family was fortunate that Ba spent some of her last years with Mom and Dad in Chicago, particularly in 2023. She said she wanted to take one last trip. During that time, she joked around with my dad. They both shared a love of the diversity of Gujarati cuisine. She continued to knit and cook, and she playfully scolded her Nilu, her pride and joy. She even took a liking to the exercise stationary bike. It meant so much for us to have celebrated her 92nd birthday with her. On a deeper reflection, these memories illustrate her vibrant, full of life personality and that joy that she emanated. The other aspect that I think will resonate with many of us, and as Milan stated as well, was Ba's independence. As we know, she lived on her own up until age 93. She would walk to the grocery store from her flat by herself, and she refused for many years to use a cane or a wheelchair. When my husband Rishi first met Ba, it was 10 p.m. at night, and she insisted on cooking puri, batetanu shak, and kicked me out of the kitchen. Sometimes I thought, reflecting on Ba, while this was so remarkable, I also thought, wasn't she perhaps a little bit stubborn? We playfully would tease her that she was a city Ba who would not find the countryside of London or Chicago very palatable. However, this relentless independence was fueled by her deep, selfless devotion to Swaminarayan Bhagwan. While her family may have resided outside of Chicago and London, it was her heart belonged to Swaminarayan Bhagwan. Her priority, her purpose was to be able to go to the mandir as often and as long as she could. I may never fully understand the depth of her faith, but I think we can all say that it radiated from her like an everlasting flame. When Ba talked about Yogiji Maharaj, Pramukh Swami Maharaj to us as children, we knew that this was something unique and special to our family. Her eyes would light up and her voice would command the room. During her last trip to Chicago, she frequently sang Sajanand Swami's Thal, Mare Ghare Avajo Chogla Dari. One time I remember she paused and with such conviction in her eyes, praise in her voice, pointed her finger at us and shared how this was Yogi Bapa's Thal. And when the Hari Bhaktos would sing this in Africa, people would stand and dance, and it just illustrated such a divine atmosphere that he had created, and then we were so fortunate, and she was so fortunate to have been a part of. She also said, alluding to that Thal, that Katyavadi Kadi was second to none. Her seva during Yogiji Maharaj and Pramukh Swami's trips to East Africa and her later dedication to the Nizdan Mandir exemplified that this was her life's duty. Others saw this devotion in her as well. Upon hearing of her passing in the States, a dear friend of ours messaged us, Ba was the sweetest soul, immersed in the divine Najapam. The shining star has been awaiting to merge back into the infinite light, love, and joy. Reflecting on her joy, her independence and devotion, our Ba truly lived life to its fullest. As tough it has been to lose her, and as my heart deeply aches to not have been at her side 2 Mondays ago, I know her soul is now with Swaminarayan Bhagwan, where her heart always was. Jai Swaminarayan.
Jai Swaminarayan. Today we mark the passing of our grandmother, a woman who lived a full life and now leaves behind both memories and responsibilities for us to carry forward. We are all feeling this great loss, but the Bhagavad Gita reminds us the soul is neither born nor does it ever die. It is not slain when the body is slain. These are not just poetic words, but they are a reminder that death is not an end, but a transition. The body comes and goes, but the self, the Atma, is constant, and Ba lives on in all of our memories.
Ba lives simply, dutifully, and with conviction. Whether in small daily routines or larger family events, she was ever present. My brother and I always remember the trips we took with Ba, whether it was watching her ride roller coasters at Disneyland, exploring Wales and Scotland, or getting soaked in Blackwall. Those moments will always stay with us. Simple, honest memories of time well spent. We don't need to romanticize a person to respect them. She had her strengths, her limitations, and her own way of doing things. But what stands out is her independence, her presence, and her endurance. As we stand at this point of farewell, we can turn to the Gita for perspective. As a person sheds worn-out garments and wears new ones, so the soul casts off a worn-off body and enters a new one.
Ba's time in this body is over, but what continues is the impact of her choices in our lives, in our families' lives, and in the views she upheld. So let us not just remember her, but also take time to reflect. What do we take from her life, and what do we continue? We would all like to thank you for being here, and may her Atma find peace in its next journey. Yes, Manoj.
Yes, sir.
Just one minute, before I start speaking on behalf of my sister and I, we would like to thank our dad for all the support he's given to us and for the endless effort he's put into this family. I'm quite a bit younger than all of the other cousins, so I don't unfortunately have that many stories I can tell about my time with Ba, but I respected her greatly, and I feel as though I knew her. I feel grateful because to me I think I had the privilege of knowing her by getting to know her, as opposed to being told stories about her. And to me she was the definition of independent. I remember going to her flat in Tottenham and being in awe in the way she lived. She was in her late 80s at the time, and everything she did it herself. From small things like cooking to moving around the city using the bus alone, she did it herself. And truly, that's the kind of person I think she was, never needing favours, never asking for help. She was a person with a strong spine, and she's shown us to never tolerate disrespect. She has shown us to stand for what you believe in, and it was her determination which is the reason I was able to be born and raised in the UK. It was her vision that brought us here as a family, that paved the way for us and gave us this opportunity for a better life. And maybe that's something that has been forgotten as the years have gone by, or a message that hasn't been shared across generations, but it remains fact that we wouldn't be here today, living the life we live today, without her and her resilience. You could describe her as a general at war, and irrespective of whether she had the soldiers or not, she was somebody who fought from the very start of her life, and she always did it with a spring in her step. Now, whilst it would be a lie to claim that she was full of energy until her last days, there is an undeniable truth that until her very last breath, she stayed true to what she believed in. Whether wrong, whether rude at times, she knew what she meant and she stood behind all of her actions. And that attitude, I think, is something we can look up to with admiration and appreciation. I think as we gather here today, there's an element of added sadness, undoubtedly some regret as well. But I think it's ever so fitting that for a life filled with so much struggle and passion, she blissfully passed on in peace and in harmony with the one she loved the most. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, Jason and welcome everyone. Okay. It's been last few months has been, I would say, most interconnecting with Bala. On Monday, 26th of August, I was working and I received the phone call around 10 past 6.
You can do it. Yes, you can do it.
Can you see?
And I was told here in Evan Lodge Grant, they told I had to come there because mother was not responding. She was not breathing and not responding. When I got there, and she was in room number 15, her body was lying motionless.
It's okay. You can do it. Go on, slowly. Just
Last time I saw her alive was on Thursday. She was, even though she hasn't been eating for 3 months, but she slowly went off the food, went off the water. When she was in North Middlesex Hospital, the doctors and nurse actually pulled me aside and said that I should be prepared for the worst. And then when she went back to the Evan Lodge, one of the staff members, Rakesh, who's here, and we talked about my mother's health, and he kind of gave me a backbone support, saying that, be prepared for the worst. Things could deteriorate. Mother was always strong-minded. She was always strong-minded, independent. And things I remember about her was when she was in hospital, where she was in home care, she always kind of gave blessing to the staff. And she was always kind of, even though she wasn't speaking a lot, she was using a body language to communicate with members of staff. Even though she had a lot of health issues, she always trying to stay positive, stay strong-minded. And she always used to encourage me, Rena, and the rest of the family to look forward to life. She lived at the age of 93 years, which is a very good age. And, she will always be our mother, no matter what the circumstances are. I will never forget, that day when, on that first day, where she was smiling, she wasn't talking, but she was using body language. I wasn't expecting her to pass away all of a sudden. But she lived a very good independent life, where she encouraged everyone to be strong, to look forward, and try to keep the unity as a family members. Jason.
Harihi Om. Whenever we are facing such kind of difficult situation in our life, being a human being, we always have many questions. What is the right thing we can do for this soul? What are the right prayers we can do for this soul? Why we shouldn't cry? Why we shouldn't grieve after this going soul? So to answer all these questions, God Sri Krishna, in form of knowledge, has given one such holy book, which is known as Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It has been said that if you read this Bhagavad Gita carefully, if you understand this Bhagavad Gita carefully, we can get all the answers. So come, let us see from this Bhagavad Gita what God Krishna is trying to tell us about life and death. Om Shri Bhagavan Vacha Asocanya Vasochatavam Pradnyavandasya Bhasase Gatasuna Gatasosha Nanusoshanti Panditaha. આ શ્લોક દ્વારે ભગવાન આપણાને કહે છે કે આ જે જનારો જીવાત્મા છે એની પાછળ આપણે અતિશય રડવું ના જોઈએ, એની પાછળ આપણે અતિશય શોક ન કરવો જોઈએ. કારણ કે જે જ્ઞાનીજન હોય છે, જે પંડિત હોય છે, એ હર હંમેશ આ જનાર જીવાત્મા પાછળ હરિનામનું સ્મરણ કરે છે, ભગવત નામની પ્રાર્થનાઓ કરે છે અને આજે એ જ પ્રાર્થનાઓ આ આત્માને ચિર શાંતિ આપી શકે છે. તો આજે આપણે બધાએ ભેગા થઈને બે હાથ જોડીને ભગવાનને પ્રાર્થના કરીશું કે હે પરમ કૃપાળુ પરમાત્મા, આ જીવ તમારો જ છે, તમારી પાસે આવી રહ્યો છે, તમારા ચરણોમાં એને સ્થાન આપજો, શાંતિ આપજો, સદગતિ આપજો. Through this shloka, God is trying to tell us that we don't have to cry, we don't have to grieve after this going soul. The only thing we have to do is we have to do the prayers, and only those prayers can help this soul to attain the moksha. It has been said in our Hindu culture that when the soul is leaving this body and when it's traveling to God's house, he always turns around and looks what's going on after me. At that time, if this soul finds that my family, my friends are crying after me, that time this soul will regret to go to God. And once he regrets, that time he can't even go to God's house and attain the moksha, or he can't even come back and enter this body. He will just keep moving around this world unpeacefully. So today what we want is, we want the soul to attain the moksha, and for that, the only thing we have to do is we have to do the prayers. આગળ ભગવાન બીજા શ્લોકમાં કહે છે, દેહિનોસ્મિ યથા દેહે કૌમારમ યવનમ જરા તથા દેહાંતર પ્રાપ્તિ ધીરસ્તત્ર નમોદયતિ. Through this shloka, God is trying to tell us, dehinosmi yatha dehe. It means that when we take a birth, we can see many changes on this human body. We can see child age, we can see young age, we can see old age. But whatever changes we can see, all those changes are made on this outer body. Our soul, he never changes. Our soul, he never dies. So today, why we have to cry after such soul who's not going to die, who's going to be in our hearts forever? આગળ ભગવાન બીજા શ્લોકમાં આપણાને કહે છે, વાસાંસि જીર્ણાનિ યથા વિહાય નવાનિ ગૃહાનિ નરોપરાણિ તથા શરીરાનિ વિહાય જીર્ણાન ન્યાનિ સંયાતિ નવાનિ દેહી. Through this shloka, God is trying to tell us, dehinosmi yatha dehe vasansi jirnani. It means that as we feel happy and eager to leave these old clothes and put on the new ones, same way this soul is more than happy and eager to leave this old body and take a new one from the God's house. As we don't like if someone comes and stops us to wear the new clothes and try and make us unhappy, same way God is trying to tell you that when you're crying after this soul, you're trying to stop this soul to take a new body from the God's house. You're trying to make this soul unhappy. આગળ ભગવાન બીજા શ્લોકમાં આપણાને કહે છે કે જાતસ્ય હિ ધ્રુવો મૃત્યુર ધ્રુવમ જન્મ મૃતસ્ય ચ તસ્માદ પરિહારાર્થે નત્વમ શોચંતુમર્હસિ. Through this shloka, God is trying to tell us, jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur. It means in this world, which is created by God Brahma, each and every soul who comes in this world, he has to go back one day. As sun rises every day, he sets every day. In the same way, you or me, whoever we have come in this world, we all have to go back one day. The moment, the time when we take birth, we all have started journey towards death. And this is the only truth of the life which is not going to change at any time. And when we know the truth which is not going to change, and if we still cry after this going soul, it is all going to go waste. As the cycle of life and death is all controlled by God, not by us. So today, why we have to cry after such things which are not done by us, which are not controlled by us? આગળ ભગવાન છેલ્લા શ્લોકમાં કહે છે કે નૈનમ છિંદંતિ શસ્ત્રાની નૈનમ દહતિ પાવકઃ ન ચૈનમ ક્લેવદાતમ્પ્યો ન શોષયતિ મારુતઃ. Through this shloka, God is trying to tell us, Nainam Chindanti Shastrani. Up till now, whatever shlokas I have said, we've seen one thing in common. In every shloka, God is trying to tell us that this soul doesn't die. So being a human being, we always need a proof for everything. So through this shloka, God is trying to show us the difference between the outer body and the soul, why this soul doesn't die. So Nainam Chindanti Shastrani. God is saying that if you want to cut this outer body, any weapon will do that. But none of the weapon can cut this soul. If you want to burn this outer body, any fire will do that. But none of the fire can burn this soul. If you want to make this outer body wet, you can throw water on it, it will get moist. But none of the water can make this soul moist. If you want to dry this outer body, any kind of wind or air will do that. But none of the wind or air can dry this soul. So when these main elements of our human being's life can't even touch this soul, it means the soul is immortal, is not going to die. So today, the only thing we have to do is we have to do the prayers, and only those prayers can help the soul to attain the moksha. ન જાણ્યું જાનકી નાથે કાલ સવારે શું થવાનું છે એવા કથન અનુસાર આપણા સ્નેહી સ્વર્ગસ્થ ચંદ્રબાળાબેન નવીન ચંદ્રભાઈ ઓઝા, known as ચંદ્રિકાબેન, on 25th of August 2025, Monday, around 6:45 p.m. at the age of 93, has left us. With her departure, her family has left with a big void which can't be filled easily. Let us all pray to God, give us strength to the family to bear this loss. On behalf of family, I would like to say thank you for getting in touch in such a difficult time, showing your love, care and support towards the family, those who are present here, and those who have joined us through webcast. Once again, on behalf of family, Jai Swaminarayan, Jai Shri Krishna, thank you. આવેલા બધા મહેમાનોને એમના પરિવાર તરફથી હું જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ કહું છું, થેન્ક યુ કહું છું, જય સ્વામિનારાયણ કહું છું. Now before we end this service, I would like to request everyone, we all stand in silence for few seconds and we'll pray to God. Please open the door of your house and let the soul attain the moksha. Can we all stand in silence, please? Harihi Om. May I please call upon Vijay Bhai and all the immediate family members, those who are pressing the button, to come and join me, please. One of you can stay in here. To hold your right hand and you have to press this button once. At the end when I tell you, hold your hand over here now. Yeah. આપણે બધા right hand here touch કરીને make a chain for me, please. Yeah. Can we make one straight line so you can see the coffin going in? Now we are doing one last prayer, which is known as મંગલ મંદિર ખોલો. ખૂબ ભાવથી બે હાથ જોડીને આપણે બધાએ ભગવાનને પ્રાર્થના કરીશું for this soul to attain the moksha. ज्योति प्रकाश्य शिशुनयूरेमा ल्योदयामय मंगल मंदिर खोलो नम मधुरतम प्रत्युनिरंतर नम मधुरतम प्रत्युनिरंतर शिशु सह प्रेमे बोल दयामय मंगल मंदिर. Now you can press the button. That's fine. આપણે બધા હાથ જોડીને ઊભા રહેજો. That's fine. प्रेम अमीर सुडो दयामय मंगल मंगल मंदिर खोलो दयामय मंगल मंदिर खोलो ओम द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगो शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वगो शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि जतो यतः समीहसे ततो नो अभयं कुरु शन्नः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः. ओम शांति शांति शांति. Once again, on behalf of family, thank you. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Swaminarayan. Please take your seats.